If you're looking to get started with your YouTube channel and you've been getting hung up on figuring out what the setup needs to look like or how you're going to afford a setup, then in this video, I'm going to cover exactly what we're using to create content today and how you can get away with creating a relatively good looking channel and content for under $100. In this video, I'm going to talk about the setup and the approach that we use for recording content. So I've obviously talked about a lot of different tools and platforms that you can use to create your content, to edit your content. And in today's video, I just want to show you more of what we're doing. Okay, so the first thing that you need to know is I actually use a DJI Osmo Pocket in order to record my videos. So what you're seeing on this video right now is the DJI. And then if you are looking at, we're going to switch over the camera here. I'm going to show you what this looks like on the other end. This is the actual camera itself. So what's great about this is it connects via a USB-C cable and it goes directly into my computer so I can use it as a webcam. So here we are, and we're actually recording directly in Vimeo right now, which is great. We love that. And it makes life a lot easier. The second thing I want to tackle on here is what I use for audio. So whenever I'm recording videos like this, where I'm going to be doing screen sharing or I'm going to be demonstrating how to use a specific software or tool, what I actually use is just a really basic Fifini mic. And this is a gaming mic. But what I like about these ones is they're actually a lot more affordable than some of the other options out there. If you're in the creator space, a lot of the times you'll hear about podcasters wanting to use the Blue Yeti. I had a Blue Yeti for a while, and I actually don't feel like it makes much of a difference between the Blue Yeti and this guy. They do have different options. They do have one that I had before, which was basically a boom arm. So it connected, basically clipped onto your desk and had a boom arm so that you had more space on your desk. So this one is just a standing mic. It goes on my desk and you can play with the colors on it. Now, as you can see, the sound quality here is still pretty great. So it's easy for me when recording videos at my desk. The next thing I'm going to cover here is the lighting that we use for this whole setup. So I've tried a lot of stuff. I have definitely bought and paid a lot of money for very expensive lights and other things. And what we're using now is a really cheap option. So I've tried the Godex aperture lighting. And that one, I believe, was like $300 just for the light itself, not including the actual light box, which we've tried different variations of it. The reason why I decided to move away from that is it was very big and bulky. So the lighting was really nice, but it was a pain in the butt, especially if you're somebody who you work from home, you have kiddos, you want to use your space for more than just business stuff, to have a giant light in your house all the time. And if you're somebody like me who is neurodivergent and has a hard time with transitions, the process of having to set up and then unset up anytime I was going to be creating content or not creating content was really frustrating. So it was deterring me from wanting to consistently create content because it would take so much more time to set it up and then to put it away. So I moved away from the Godex lighting and I ended up getting something really simple. So this is the lighting that I'm using in this video. It is basically just a architecture light. So it's actually built for architects and architects who are basically drawing at their desk, all of the things. Now, I was impressed when I found this and I was like, oh, that's a smart idea. Because the typical ring light, it works okay, but not quite for the way that I want my face to be lit. And it gives me the flexibility to adjust the lighting so that it can come in from multiple angles. Whereas with the ring light, it was typically right in front of my face. And sometimes it was just a little overpowering. This one I feel like gives a little bit more dimension because it's giving light from both the side and from the front, and I can tilt and adjust it as needed. And it's also just nice on the eyes. It does have adjustments in regards to the color and the tone. So you can adjust that and you can also adjust the brightness of it. And so those are really the main things that I'm using, all of which, minus the camera itself, are pretty darn affordable. The mic itself, under around $30. The lighting, another maybe $30. And then with the camera, you can choose to use whatever you want. This one I eventually upgraded to after a while of using different types of video cameras. A lot of webcams is what I started with. And I want to say that you don't actually need a really fancy webcam or camera when you're getting started, because the majority of the time, the videos that you're going to be creating when you're first getting started are not going to be your best performing videos. And so if you're getting hung up on finding the perfect camera like I did and wanting to go all in and all out, hello. on having all of the right equipment, my recommendation would actually be to just start small. If you have an iPhone or an Android phone or whatever it is you use, then that should be plenty. The more important thing is that you have good audio and you have good lighting. The quality of your camera in today's world, 2025, technology is pretty darn impressive. And so your phone camera can also be hooked up to your computer as a webcam, which in my opinion makes it a million times easier than having to go and record everything and then transfer it over to your computer from the camera that you're recording from. So you could too record directly onto your iPhone if you're somebody who's like doing more outside movement based pieces of content. But if you're just doing more talking head videos like this or demonstration videos like this, then I think you can get away with just your iPhone. And eventually if you want to upgrade, you totally can. But I don't think it's something that's going to make or break your channel. Hopefully you found this helpful. The last thing I want to talk about is the actual software and tech that our team uses for recording and editing. So as you saw earlier, we are currently recording this video directly into Vimeo. Now, Vimeo has been around for a long time. There's different payment options on it. So you can get started with a free plan or you can pay the monthly subscription for their upgraded plans and the space that's on there. The reason why I like Vimeo is that it actually allows you to record directly in the studio. And this is similar with other platforms like auio, which I've talked about in previous videos as well. So again, there are a lot of free options out there. You could totally record on things like iMovie, like on your phone, but I'm somebody who the less steps, the better. And for me, this personally just works. I like to be able to just record directly on my camera, plug in that USB-C, turn on the light, and hit record. And then once I'm done, I can stop the recording. It automatically saves it to Vimeo, and then I can just send the link to my team who does a lot of the video editing. Now, if I am ever stuck having to do the editing for a video, then I will use a platform like Vidio, or you can edit directly in Vimeo with the video you just created. My team uses CapCut for all of the video editing that they do, which is what you see on a lot of the videos on my channel, because I don't really enjoy video editing. Not my thing. And so that's another platform, another tool that you can use for video editing. But again, if you're trying to keep it simple, I would say you can get started with just picking one platform to live in until you start to build your skill set. And then you can, of course, evolve into additional platforms and softwares. But my recommendation for anyone who's looking to get started is to keep it really simple, not worry about having to have all of the best of all of the things. I made those mistakes and I really don't feel like they made much of a difference. If anything, it just held me back from getting started sooner. So if you're looking to get started, the tools that you need are pretty darn simple. You can use your phone for your camera, just connect it as a webcam basically. You can get started with Vimeo or any other software that you want to use so that you can record directly to your computer. It's going to save you a ton of time on the uploading, downloading, importing, exporting. I hate that. I'm sure you do too. And the mic setup, the light setup, you can get started for under $100. So hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, as always, be sure to hit the like button down below, subscribe to the channel for additional content, and turn on your notifications so you can get updated anytime we post new content, typically on a weekly basis. If you have additional questions, feel free as always to comment down below. If there's other things that you'd like our feedback on, we'd love to hear about it, and I'll be sure to record additional content answering those questions. Thank you so much for tuning into this video, and I hope to see you in future content.